Next, the colorful and jaunty Adventures of Cookie and Cream. This is probably the most well-known game on this episode, but I don't know if many people realize this is a From Software joint. That's right.
Oh man, that you'd be amazed all the weird stuff that Friend Software has made. Yeah, so you guys probably recognize the name From Software primarily for the work on the Dark Souls series, but I don't think a lot of people realize that the company actually got its start on the original PlayStation. And one of the first series that they made was a little first person RPG called Kingsfield, or at least those who have played this would be aware of Kingsfield 2. There are actually 3 games in the Kingsfield series for the original PlayStation, but the first game was never released stateside, so the second game did come here, and it was retitled just Kingsfield, as you did back in the day. Anyone who's played a Dark Souls game is going to find this very familiar. You take the role of a warrior prince who travels to a forbidden island to retrieve a powerful sword, but a freak storm causes his ship to crash and maroons him on the island. So now he has to find the sword and hopefully a way off the island, while also facing all the dangerous creatures that exist there. It feels very much like a modern Souls game, with the dark catacombs, the remains of adventurers that came before you, and bloodthirsty monsters just coming out of the dark and woodworks looking for a snack. It also is very similar in regards to its gameplay as well. It's a action RPG where, as you play through the game, defeat monsters, you'll gain new abilities, new weapons, level up your abilities, and battle a wide range of monsters, many of which can very easily destroy you if you aren't careful. So yeah, this is a game that prides itself on being extremely difficult. So if you're looking for the precursor to the modern day Souls games, this would be right up your alley. That being said, it's still going to feel very unfamiliar to fans of Dark Souls, primarily because of the controls. This was before dual analog was widely accepted as the standard for first-person controls, and as a result, moving around, adjusting your viewpoints, and attacking enemies, it's going to feel very strange. If you stick with it, though, you will find a difficult but rewarding game. Though it's the kind of game that I think a modern Souls player would look at and say, oh my god, this needs a remake. Kingsfield, I don't think was very popular here in the States, but it must have been popular in other parts of the world, because as I said, they did 3 games in the series. And that wasn't the only game that From Software would put out on the console either. Probably their most popular game back in the day was the Armor Core series. They did a bunch of these games for the PlayStation, but one that I feel is heavily underrated is the Echo Knight series, which was a really interesting horror adventure game that had a lot of really forward-thinking ideas in regards to its narrative and design. One of the more underrated games on the console. And of course, From Software would eventually make it big with the Dark Souls series, which is now just one of the biggest subgenres of action games out there. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, the list just goes on and on. If you're really curious as to where From Software really got their starts with that style of gameplay, Kingsfield is really interesting to play, though it's really going to be an acquired taste for a lot of people, really only for people like me who are really big into game design. But that's going to do it for Kingsfield, guys. Be sure to join me tomorrow to take a look at the next game in the PlayStation Retrospective.